It's story time.
Hi everyone. Welcome to Stories with Sapphire Live. I'm Sapphire Sandalo. This is the live stream I do every Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. I updated my intro. Did you like it? Oh, I just realized I should probably change this campfire stuff here too. I'm trying to change all my theming away from campfire stuff because it's just so overdone. I can name like 10 podcasts that do campfire. So trying to change it up. While we wait for people to trickle in, I have a couple announcements. On February 23, which is a Friday in Burbank, I'm going to be doing this like joint investigation with Stephanie Strange and Amber, the medium, Channel with Amber. It's going to be at the Wish House in Burbank. It's very, very limited space. So like only 15 tickets are being sold. So if you are interested, oh no, I don't know the link. But I posted the link in my community tab. So if you're interested, go look there. What else? So if this is your first time joining a live, welcome. I just pick a couple emails to read. It's a lot more loosey-goosey than the podcast because I don't read them ahead of time. And then I take one of my decks. Today we are doing the Offerings Oracle by Caitlin Grania. This was given to me this weekend when I was a guest on the Third Eye Bind podcast. She is an espiritista. She designed this deck. It's designed for, like, if you want to know what type of offering to give your guides, your ancestors, you pull from here. So we'll pull that at the end. What is happening in this chat right now? Ralph Kaiser, Leonis Kabadik. I hope you can upload more on Spotify. I always listen there every night, even I repeat it many times. Yeah, the new season is coming out on Valentine's Day. Okay, so I cannot for the life of me remember if I have read this story already, so let me know. Sam Miller, maayong adlaw ate Sapphire. I hope you are doing fine today. Maayong adlaw kapod, which I think means good day to you too. All right, this one's called Freedom ? Hi, my name is Gabby, and I visit our mansion in the province every summer. It was peaceful because atmosphere and scenery there always calms me down. But every time I go home to the province, people always stare at me and whisper at the same time, which I never noticed till now. This year, my boyfriend Carl is coming home to the province with me. I'm really excited to introduce him to my parents. Anak, be careful on the trip, okay? Your father and I missed you, my mother said through the phone. Of course, Mom, I'm excited to introduce Carl to you, I said. We talked about important things, and the next day we packed and left. Since it takes 5 hours before reaching the destination, I told myself I'd take a break as soon as we got there. Love, you've been driving for 4 hours. Do you want me to drive? I replied. No, love, we're almost there anyways. I love Carl so much, and I'm always thankful to God that he brought us together. I looked at him and smiled. Once we got there, I screamed, Mom, Pa, I'm here. But no one answered. I went to the living room and saw them putting food on the dining table. Mama, I yelled, running to her. Carl just followed me. He waved at them and greeted them politely. Oh, you're already here. Sit down. I'm sure you're hungry. I cooked you your favorite food. My favorite food was on the table. I smiled widely because I was really lucky. I had a loving boyfriend and caring family. While we were having a good time, Anak, are you happy? So my terrible accent. Mom suddenly asked. I was surprised by her sudden question, but I ignored it and answered, Of course, because I'm with you guys. She suddenly interrupted me. Then let us go. What? What does she mean? It's been 2 years, Gabby. You murdered us. Please let us go. I looked down and a tear fell down. I remember everything now. Of course, why wouldn't I? I was in hell for 20 years because they all abused me. Even when I beg, my mom and dad don't pay me attention and hurt me so bad. I was imprisoned for 19 years and endured for 19 years. On my 20th birthday, I decided to kill my parents and run away from them. It was my birthday wish to put them in the living room and place them as if we were having fun celebrating. When I moved to Manila, I met Carl and he became my boyfriend, but he only wanted my body and abused me like my family did, so I killed him too. My ears were filled with police sirens and noise from outside. Someone saw me and called the police right away. Why wouldn't I be happy now that I have everything I wanted? Oh my God, that one's very, very dark. But also kind of fun. Thank you for sharing that one. Okay, this one does not have a title. Hi, Sapphire. Here's a pretty scary story I experienced that I'd like you to share sometime. Back in 2013 to 2015, there was a really popular doll called Baby Alive. It was this little doll you could pretend to feed, and it talked. It only had a few phrases like, "I'm hungry, feed me, mommy," and these little slurping sounds when its tongue was pressed, like it was eating. It came with a magic spoon where food disappeared off it if a little lever was pushed back, and one of those magic bottles where the liquid disappears. I'd gotten one for my 10th birthday and was obsessed with her. I carried her everywhere and fed her and talked to her. She had a little bracelet on her wrist that turned her on, and she would speak if you pressed it. Problem was, there was no off switch. I think she broke at one point because she would start to go off in the middle of the night. She would only turn off after about 15 minutes of no interaction, usually. But when she went off at night, she wouldn't turn off for at least an hour. I eventually got sick of being woken up every night at 1 a.m., so I took her batteries out, put her in the garage, never to be played with again. In 2020, I was going through my old stuff for a garage sale and found her. In a moment of nostalgia, I turned her on and she spoke and everything. And I remembered how irritating her voice was, so I turned her over to open her and take the batteries out. When I opened her, there were no batteries inside. Of course, I said, "Fuck that," and threw her away in the dumpster, but I swear I saw a little girl buy her off one of the tables at the garage sale the next day. Uh-oh. Baby Alive? Does anyone remember that? I have not heard of that. But, yeah, it's pretty creepy. Apparently, here's the thing, though, about toys that go off when there's no batteries. There has been... I'm thinking specifically of, like, a TikTok that I don't know how to find. But it was, like, this guy who was, like, using... Like, he had a magnet, and when he would put it over the toy, it would make the sound. Something like that. It was something like that. And the toy didn't have any batteries or anything. So it was sort of like, okay, it's being triggered by, the fields or something. So when toys go off with no batteries, I'm kind of skeptical on it just because there are ways for toys to go off if it doesn't have batteries. You know what I mean? So not fully convinced yet, but I'm sure it was very creepy. All right, this one's just called My Strange Experience. Hi, Sapphire. My nickname is Zuzu. I'm a teenage girl. This experience happened to me almost a year ago. I live in the United States in a somewhat forested area. One day, I was sitting in a beanbag, just chilling in my family's tent/gazebo, and I heard someone walking in the gravel behind me, so I turned around, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw a glimpse of a 6-foot-ish tall figure walking to my mom's Nissan Titan, but the figure's face was out of my point of view. My older brother wears darkly colored clothes a lot, so I assumed it was him walking to the truck to get something. A few minutes later, I saw the figure again in my peripheral vision, walking in the gravel behind me, walking the opposite direction from the first sighting. But this time, I could see the figure's face, and it was completely black, devoid of any color or detail. While this was happening, I wasn't getting any gut feelings to be scared or anything, but after the second sighting, I called out my brother's name. No response. So I called out my mom's name. Still no response. As a result of this, I texted my mom and brother asking where they were. As I sent the text, I hear our 2 German Rottweiler dogs come out of our RV along with my mom and brother. My mom asked me if I was all right, to which I responded to her question explaining what had happened. She then told me that while this 6-footish tall shadow was walking behind me, the dogs were inside freaking out, begging to be let out to come check up on me, to which my mom did let them out. After my mom heard what had happened to me earlier, my brother and her searched around our property but turned up finding nobody. I eventually ended up going back inside our home and stayed inside for the rest of the day. Weird. Don't like it. Don't love it. Thank you for that, Zuzu. Okay. What about... no. How are we on time? Okay, we could do like one more. Oh, I haven't seen Adam today. Hope he's okay. Okay. This one's called Story Dream. This is a story I feel like I have dreamt of before, but I finally wrote it down. There was this man, I think about 30 to 50 years old, who was about 10 to 16 at the time, and my family, to go on a vacation with him and his new girlfriend. Got it. The man, let's call him Joe, and his new girlfriend, Claire, seemed like the happiest of couples, even if they'd only dated for about 4 months now. We asked why they wanted us on this vacation with them, but they only said, well, we don't have any family that would go, so we wanted to let you and your family come with us. Plus, a vacation isn't as fun unless you have your family. So we just brushed it off and went to have a good time after we got our room keys. We went to get some food. After all, it did take us about a day to get here. The food was good, and there was a window showing the wide ocean view. The place is next to the water on a hill, but not all the way up, as well as most of the place is built into the mountain. After we ate, we went to put the rest of our stuff in our room. Our rooms were built into the mountain, but they seemed secure enough to be stable. The thing about the rooms is that you can only share a room with 1 or 2 people, so I shared a room with my siblings. My parents got a room together, and the couple had a room to themselves. After getting changed, we all went to enjoy our vacation. The day went well. We played in the water, laid in the sand, and played whatever we wanted, but it soon became night, so we all headed to bed. We didn't hear anything at night, so once the morning came, we met up with Joe, but Claire wasn't around. We didn't think anything of this, assuming she already went to enjoy some food or the ocean, so we went to enjoy the second day of our vacation. Her disappearance didn't seem weird until we didn't see her at all throughout the day, not even when it became night again and we headed to bed. I'm not sure why, but for some reason, me and my youngest sibling, let's call them Kay, couldn't sleep, so we headed out of our room. We found a staircase close to our rooms that we didn't notice was there this morning, but it seemed overgrown and abandoned. We didn't know this at the time, but that area was off limits to vacationers. Me and Kay went down the stairs and saw Joe pouring water into 2 watering cans that looked old with rope attached to the handles. We would have said something, anything, but I felt something was off and stopped Kay from speaking as I covered her mouth, shaking my head no, so she knew not to say anything. Even though we went down the stairs, it seemed Joe hadn't heard us, which gave me some relief. I didn't notice anything at first, but still, something was off. I could somehow feel it. I held Kay's hand as we walked quietly around the area, making sure we weren't seen or heard. I got another weird feeling, telling me to turn around. So I looked around and saw bones of what looked like people, all stacked along a curved part of the mountain. Even with the dimmed light, I could still see the outline of body parts, all bent and broken out of place. I didn't know this at the time, but there was also no smell of rotting flesh. I tried keeping my composure, even while shaking uncontrollably, but I knew he wasn't who he said he was. So I looked back at him, making sure Kane never looked at the bones that were piled up against the mountainside covered in the overgrowth. I had this feeling of needing to protect my family, so without thinking, I charged at him, letting Kay's hand go as I grabbed one of the empty watering cans, swinging it full force at his head, somehow knocking him unconscious. At some point, the police came and took Joe's unconscious body away before telling us what I suspected. We were told girls 18 or older ended up missing each year at this vacation spot. They never found any of the girls, nor could they connect to who took them. They had suspects, but they all had alibis. After giving the police the information they needed, we later found out that 38 bodies were found. Many of them were bones by now. The newest body added to the pile was Claire, Joe's girlfriend. Most of her flesh was already gone, and there were dark holes where her eyes should be. What? Wait, did you say this was real? Or no, you said it was a dream? My God. It's crazy, but thank you. Ooh, spooky, spooky. All right, everyone. It is time for a reading. Okay. So, like I said before, this is a deck by Caitlin Grania. And it's to determine what type of offering to give your spirit guides and ancestors. So that's the context of this deck. So if you guys want to give an offering, the new moon is coming up. It's nice. The new moon is good for releasing things. So if there's like habits or people that you don't want in your life anymore, the new moon is a really good time to deal with that. So if you work with ancestors or spirits and you want them to assist you in getting rid of those things, this might be a good offering to give. I like this one. Oh, okay. Dreams. Let me read what that says, because I'm not sure how that works here. Your good spirits desire to communicate with you through your dreams now. It's possible that you have already been receiving messages from them as you sleep. Consider creating a small dream altar on your nightstand. Craft a small pouch from white, lavender, or blue felt and fill it with a bit of thyme, mugwort, moonstone, or amethyst. Keep this under your pillow. Write a petition or letter to your spirits before you go to bed. Focus your spiritual routines and disciplines around your dream praxis. Create a simple ritual leading you into bedtime. Resist the urge to begin scrolling or checking emails when you wake up. Instead, use your rising time to journal, draw, or make a voice note of what you can remember of your dreams. And that's your message, y'all. Yeah, I'll probably... Ooh, the idea of like making a little dream altar, it sounds kind of nice and sweet. I love making altars. I have a money altar. I have an altar for communication. Yeah, anyways. All right, y'all, that is the stream. Thank you so much for joining. I do this every week, unless I don't feel well. And you can get notified if I cancel by checking the community tab. And if you want to send a story, the email's right here, storieswithsapphire@gmail.com. All right, everyone, have a great rest of your day.